year, and I fully expect us to continue to improve each week and get where we need to be.
You mentioned leadership. That was one of the things I was going to ask you about. In addition to guys like Keith Kelsey, have you seen some of the younger guys start to step up?
Well, I think when you look at our leaders, first of all, Kelsey's obviously been a solid leader for us, every day. Sheldon Rankins is always coming to work. I thought Burgess had his best game today last week when he gave an interception. You can tell it's important to those guys. When you start looking at the younger guys, I think that they understand the value of each play matters. And the reason that maybe a coach is on you, every play in practice is because that play can determine, whether we win that possession or not. So I think that's a learning experience for young guys, and I think they get it as you move forward. So I think our work ethic's been good. I think our guys trust and believe in each other. And, that's what you got to do. It gets down to you have to play harder than your opponent for 60 minutes. And if you do that and you execute, then you'll be in the game and have a chance to win.
Keith really played at a high level for those 3 weeks.
Yeah, Kelsey, he's a grinder. He's one of our core guys. He understands what to do, how to do it. The reason he is where he is as a player is because of his work ethic, his character, his leadership. He certainly allows us to do the things that we do on the field. Certainly glad he's here. And, he is a guy that takes charge and makes sure that, guys are accountable for what they have to do. And I think anytime your players do that, it's better than the coach.
3 games into his career here, what's your thoughts on the progression of the field so far?
He's doing a good job. He's had to play multiple positions a little bit, and you guys probably wouldn't have recognized it in a couple of the games just because we try to get matchups. We need him and Keith on the field at the same time, and then sometimes even trying to get him, Trayvon, and Keith on the field at the same time. So when you do that, somebody has to learn your spot. We've kind of managed it a little bit with him to learn that. He's a smart, instinctive guy. He wants to do things right. He's done everything I asked. You can see where he has a skill set that can be a productive player. I think anytime you're away from this level of comp for maybe that length of time, it takes a little bit of time to get back in the groove. And I would expect him to be an ascending player moving forward and make some production type plays that will allow us to be the kind of defense we want to do.
Seemed like you got some good production out of Hearns last week. He was in there for
Yeah, Hearns is a guy that I'll be honest, I've been pretty hard on since I got here. And we were going to have a determination on, where he was going to be. And to his credit, that guy's busted his tail in January through spring practice in the summer, and he earned the right to play. And, that's what it's all about, is earning the right to play, doing things the way we want them done. And he's certainly done that, and I think that moving forward, you'll continue to see his reps where they were, if not increased.
How close is this defense to its potential?
Well, as a coach, you're always looking to improve. I think that, we still are looking at the combination of players in the back end to give us the best matchups. We kind of go back and forth with where to play Josh. Josh has actually played 2 positions for us and really done a great job. I think that it kind of gets down to the, like I was talking about the rushing stats. This year, it's like 190, 200 a game, but at the end of the day, it's 4.5, so we got to find a way to reduce that. Last year was 4.1. So the first thing we got to do is reduce the amount of rushes against us. And if you do that, and we can do that by, one, giving our offense the ball back with the lead to let them go drive again and score. And then once the fourth quarter is always dictated by the score. And when you're losing or in a tight ball game, people can do what they want to do. When you're up and maybe by more than one possession, the score can dictate how the fourth quarter plays. So I think that is something that we want to strive for moving forward, because that would allow us to be probably a little bit more like we were last year.
In your career, what experience have you had with multiple game losing streaks? And have you had a situation where sometimes that first win is a confidence booster and is a spark, or maybe it's a win that sparks a team on forward?
Well, I can think of, I was at Virginia Tech, and I think we were 1-2 and got beat by Cincinnati, and had Miami coming in, beat them and went to the Super Bowl, first New Year's Day Bowl in Virginia Tech history. And my second year at Georgia, we were 0-2. And went to the SEC championship game, played LSU. Each game is a game. It's you got to play, and that's what I tell our players is we need to prepare each week like we did last week, because each game, like this game, matters. And if you prepare each week the same, I mean, your production and your success is going to be the same. So, you know, every game is the same to me. I mean, I know that from a media standpoint or fan standpoint, certain games are going to be more exciting than others because of who you play. But at the end of the day, they're all the same, and it's about you getting better as an individual. You know, in pro football, when you play 16 games, I mean, they're all the same, and it's a dogfight every week. And it's really no different in college football now with the way the scholarships are and things like that. That every game matters, and every game, you know, is the same. Now, it's going to be a little bit different from a media fan standpoint, but that's not what we play. That's not what we do. So we've got to hone in on our skill set and know that our preparation during the week is going to allow us to do the things we want to do on Saturday.
Is this team, is Sanford this weekend, is it similar to what you saw with Murray last year?
Yeah, they're very similar. I mean, you know, at all levels you can have wideouts. I mean, there's all kind of wideouts. You got a big quarterback that can throw the ball. You know, those guys can be found at any level. I mean, just look in pro football and look at the guys that play that from all different aspects of college sports. So we're going to see some skilled guys out there. So we've got to understand that and be ready to play. And what we've got to do is worry about ourselves and what we do, and everything else will take care of itself.
Defending the screen, what have you seen so far from your team, and what would you like to see?
Well, when you're defending the screen, number one is your lineman got to have discipline and understand their keys and understand what's happening to them. It's always like I tell them, nothing in life's free. So just because the guy lets you go doesn't mean he likes you. He's probably letting you go for a reason. So you got to retrace your steps and head outside. So you know, what you have to do is you first of all you've got to force it with somebody, whether it's the guy that has the guy man or the corner or the safety, but whoever has the force, you've got to set the edge of the screen. And then your interior guys have got to come inside out because, you know, with the way screens are in college, linemen can be downfield and blocking. So the seams are created behind them. So the linemen have to retrace and compress that to take those seams out. And it's something you got to be disciplined at. You got to work on it. And I think that anytime you face a team that may feel like that they're going to have a hard time blocking you, those plays are good to try to slow it down a little bit. So we've got to be ready for that.
All right, Coach. Keith's got to go get some
Thank
medicine.
you.